about the opposite of God. And I know that the first thing that would come to mind to most people is that the opposite of God is the devil or Satan. And this couldn't be further from the truth, because both God and the devil are anthropomorphic beings. Means they're like spirits that are given human attributes. And so there's too many similarities between the devil and God for them to be opposite. They're both male. They both have like supernatural powers. They're immortal. So that is not really a opposite. So my idea of it is that another opposite is the singularity versus infinity, or everything spread out and everything different. Everything is different. Every snowflake is different. And I've read about it, and I can't think of the scientist's name, but he said that every snowflake that ever landed on the earth for billions of years is, slightly different. Just one little stroke of the frost or something like that. So like the chances of two snowflakes to be exactly the same are infinite. And so if that's the way the physical realm in the universe and the biosphere which we live in, if that's the way snowflake is, just imagine what each person is. I'm not saying that we are gods, but we are each individual biological, multicellular, complicated beings. And for us to all be the same or worship the same, it's impractical. It never works. Look at all the branches of the Catholic and the Christian churches, and whatever, after Reformation or whatever the heck, there's Lutherans and there's Baptists and Mormons and whatever, on and on. And then also you go into other religions like the Judaism, and it is the same God, as most people know, and so is Muslim. So therefore you got the same God, and nobody's gonna believe in him in the same way anyway, so it doesn't even work for God to be a singularity. It just doesn't work to have omnipotent, present creator of the universe that is formed after a male human, after a man, when half of the species is female. And what else? There was something else that I was going to see. So then, what we want out of God is what it's offered spiritually or faithfully is eternal connection, an eternal existence forever and ever, to be connected to something that goes on forever and ever. So if you stop and think about it, now if everybody would work towards that, all the 7 billion people would work to try and achieve this infinite connection, or this omnipresence. That is where it's going to come from, not just one person and everybody surrounding up around him. So, you know, another way I just thought about it, about this thing just now before I started trying to talk, trying to say this talk, is, okay, this God, according to all of the three major Judeo-Christian Muslim religion, this God demands us to worship him. And so we are just mortal beings, and we work and we have to eat and breathe and stuff to live, and we're all going to die. That's it. We are only here passing through. It's like a flash in the pan. So then why doesn't this God worship us a little bit? We already come from like a pretty harsh thing here, you know. So then he asks, oh, then we got to worship him. You know, what if he was existed? Why didn't he worship us? Because we're you know, pretty neat multicellular creatures. Here we got quite a bit of gray matter and interaction in social experiences, and we can see and listen to one another, and hopefully make decisions about nature that are true. Like, you know, like the moon is like round up there. It only shows us its one side, but there's pictures of the back end of the moon, and that the Earth is the center of the solar system, and stuff like that. Or some people that just believe in flat Earth. So they're just going to believe in God because that's the way they were taught when they were little, and that is their worldview, and that is just the way that it's going to be. It's not going to change it. I don't think it's going to, they're going to be able to see the decentralization of power and spirit and relevance. Each one of us is special. If you say God's special, then that makes each one of us less special among each other. You know, like people that you love, if they have some problem with you or whatever, instead of trying to settle with them and say, hey, I love you, you know, I wish you wouldn't do that or something, then, yeah, oh, God, this God is involved. So then to not have this philosophy of God's going to punish you and all that, that's opposite of that. You know, we need the opposite of God in our spirituality. And we need, like in the United States, we have this president, and then everybody worships the president instead of the Constitution. The Constitution is what we are supposed to live by. And right now, and through all history, once the presidents are in there, it's like they can do no wrong, and they're just making money, and it's like a scummy thing. You know, it's so that's because people, oh, you gotta, the chief, we can't have that anymore, because we are threatening our long-term survivability, and our whole economic system is based on this infinite growth factor, and the economy always has to grow, and we have to have more babies, more houses, more cars. Well, we got that already, and it's like depleting the resources, and we can't go on with this singularity and then follow this hierarchy with money and religion and God. We just can't go on. It served its purpose, but now we need to break in to the Aquarian age. It's like instead of fishers of men, we are like water. We want to live. We want our species and our human family to live on. We want our relatives to live on, and our children's children and children's 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 children. And if we look at that, then we need to voluntarily and through education control our population collectively. You know, each race or each ethnic group is going to have to settle for their sphere surrounding kind of as it is now, and agree that they're going to have like no more than 2 kids. Everybody on the whole planet, that's going to have to be like how we do things as a species, and you know, how we reproduce and how we raise our young and stuff. Just like the Canadian geese have a way, they have quite a few of them, and some like bear maybe have 1 or 2, and all the other animals. You know, they're not like the Duggars. I don't know if you know American TV or not, but it's like they got like 19 kids and trying for the 20th, and that's like the American way or something. Come on, it's like, I don't know why they even put that stuff on TV. Well, it covered a lot of subjects and kept right on blasting the whole darn time here, and so now we're going to return and summarize it, is that the opposite of God is actually something that we really need, that all humans need, is a connection between ourselves and then know our own individual worth, and every other human has a beautiful window to view life from, and we must respect all life equally. And when God gives it the central in a hierarchy, and some people are over other people, instead of being richer from helping other people, they're richer from abusing and using and making other people their subjects. Even the church does that and hires professionals to do that. And that's the way that it always is. You know, some of these people say, oh, I'm Christian and I don't go to a church and I don't read the Bible. I don't need to follow any religion or go to any church, and I just have a one-on-one relationship with Jesus. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. Now let's get back to something more positive to try and really end this video now. So, the opposite of God is where everything sort of creates itself. Everybody, every living organism pushes out into the world, and even the Earth, the planet, 25,000 miles around, and the stars, it's all in creation of itself. Everything is different. Everything has its own perspective. Every person, and like I said, every snowflake. There's other. That's the best one. And then these Republicans will say, "Oh, hey, snowflake. Oh, you're a little liberal, little tinfoil hat wearing person." Oh, I'm getting negative again. Come on. No, we're not going to go there. We're going to agree, and I am going to agree that I will try and worship everybody in the whole collective, the whole 7 billion of us, and every animal and every plant, rather than God.